Hi everybody, Mike Reese here, Martial Arts Chat. Today, since this is my second video, I was hoping to get some more feedback from people. I was hoping to see what people would like to talk about. And then I've noticed a couple things on Facebook with a group that I'm with, Fit to Fight. They have a certain thing going on that, a guy expressed himself on his Facebook, on his social media, big public social media. And just like anything, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, if you do anything on those social networks, you're gonna be judged. Whether people say you shouldn't judge a person, it doesn't matter. People say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but you know what? Seriously, if I don't like the cover of the book, I'm not buying the book. And he put out there some of his personal interests. And Joey, this is not against you. So just understand, he's a friend. He's a friend of mine on there, and I really like the guy. So I'm actually going to defend him. I come from a different background. I was, and then I'm going to put this into the theme of things. He is not a Christian man. And he put out there something according to his belief, and he put it out there. I guess he took a big hit from it for some reason. I'm not sure why. I really don't know why. Because that's his personal belief. And I want you to understand that I was an atheist. I didn't believe in anything. But my personal experiences with the Christian faith helped me become solidified in my Christian belief. So I'm a Christian, and I don't mind saying it either, and I don't mind putting it out there. And if he believes that way, then it's his prerogative to put it out there. It's not. I don't believe that it's okay to judge his performances, or anything like that, by his belief. If somehow, some way he's trying to debunk it through his classes, that's one thing. But in all seriousness, it's his personal Facebook. If it was a business Facebook, it'd be different. If it's business, then you should not put your personal beliefs out there in business unless it is well known that's your personal belief. Like me, I don't care if people know if I'm a Christian. I don't really have any qualms against it. I'm not going to back down from it. I'm not going to tell people I'm not, and I'm not going to tell people, and I expect him not to back down from what he believes. My biggest thing is people just need to leave that alone. Unless he's telling people negative things, which I know he's not going out there telling people, hey, kill this person, rob that person, take this person's stuff, and cheat on your wife. He's not going out there installing bad things into people. Okay? He's just stating his belief. That's not a bad thing. But he took a hit for it, and I believe that's wrong. Now, what this goes into is the belief that we have as martial artists. Does that go into your trainings and teachings of your schools? For the majority of them, I would say that a lot of people do instill their personal core values into their students. Now, they shouldn't be preaching whatever their belief is to their students, but many do. And it's not just the Christian; it's the Taoist, it's the Buddhist. It's all. Some people refuse to take a student. Some Buddhists refuse to take a student unless they're converting to Buddhism. There was a Taoist man that I knew that he was going to denounce everything, and he was basically going to try to debunk everything in his classes to get everybody on a spiritual Taoism type of belief. To me, that's poor business. That's poor business. If you believe that, though, and you say, hey, you can't do this unless you become a Buddhist, and then that's the prerogative of the person. If they decide to choose to become a Buddhist or a Taoist or whatever, and they choose to, go into that class because of it, And they'd say, that's fine with me, I'll do it. Do it, that's fine. I will never help anybody that you have to be a Christian to learn from me. I don't care who you are. I'll train anybody. I will teach anybody. I will train anybody. And I will do what I can with the people that I know. But I will be installing the core values that I believe doesn't make just a Christian or a good person. I am going to be bestowing things that I believe is a warrior path. I don't believe in Bushido because I do not believe that if you dishonor yourself, you have to kill yourself. I do not believe that. Okay, and I understand that the Japanese culture is very proud. I'm Japanese. I'm part Japanese. I understand how proud that culture is. I'm also Italian. Another very proud culture. I mean, look at the Romans. Look at it. I mean, just if you go back, you can see how similar when people are honored or dishonored or this, whatever, what they feel like they have to do to pay penance for that kind of thing. I just don't believe in any of that. Okay? What I do believe, though, is that martial arts is, one, an art of war. It is a study. It's a study and art of tactics, strategies, and techniques of war. So, does that mean your abilities will turn into a violent thing? It means you will be inflicting violence on someone if they attack you. Plain and simple, that is a study. If you're defending yourself, quote unquote, self-defense, self-protection, blah, 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 go do whatever you want to say with it, it is the same principle. You are going to inflict violence in some fashion or form on a person in some way. To say you are a non-violent person means you should not do a martial art at all. That's my personal belief. And this is what I was told a woman. She came to me and she said this sheriff lady, she'd been attacked, and this sheriff lady had given her a cute little pull knife. And you pull this knife and it has a little razor tip right here. She just it's like a little punch knife, real quick self-defense tool. That's cute. Real cute. I'm sitting there thinking, hey, for someone who's willing to use it, that's a nice little tool. However, I asked the woman, do you ever intend on taking this and sticking this into someone? Oh no, I just wanted to do it to scare someone off. I said, well, more than likely the person will not be frightened by this. And if you never intend on using it, you won't. And you're going to end up giving them a weapon. Let's not use that until you're ready to use it. One thing about this is if you are not willing to injure someone, if you are not willing to hurt someone, and I mean hurt because it doesn't matter. You put an armbar on someone, you put them in a wrist lock, you do anything, even if it's a controlled restraint, someone can, and most of the time, does get hurt. When that happens, you put them down and you injure them in some fashion. It's not. So if you are unwilling to injure anyone, you should not practice martial arts. And I said unwilling. But if you're willing, because you know you have to, you know you have to protect yourself, you know you're going to do anything you can to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, and the people that you're with, take a martial art. And then learn that mentality, that mindset of how to be very aggressive towards the opponent or your enemy or whatever you want to call it. It's the person that's against you, okay, your opposition. So the fact of the matter is whatever your values are, you have to be able to incorporate them into your martial art. People give me a hard time because I'm a Christian, but yet I practice things that could harm and even kill people. And they said, how do you live with that? And I said, because it's not murder. And they said, well, it didn't say it's thou shalt not murder. And I said, well, check the language and check the context. It's basically cold-blooded murder. He did not say war. He did not say defending yourself. He did not say policing yourself. He did not say protecting your family or loved one. He didn't say any of that. And some people say, well, what about when Jesus said strike the face? You know, the guy struck him. He said, turn the other cheek. And I said, yes, but then you look at the fact that the guy struck him in the face, and he looked at him and said, why did you strike me? He didn't turn the other cheek. He just said, why did you strike me? He's looking at him and confronting him about it. What they mean by that turn the other cheek is if someone's offending you, if it's like an offense, if it's like some sort of off the wall, basically like a troll on there saying, "Oh, you blah 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 blah." Turn the other cheek. Who cares? You don't have to do it because someone's talking trash. You don't have to go over there and punch them in their mouth. This is called self-control. This is called discipline. This is called, this is what I'm talking about. The martial arts it's a military and warring type thought pattern, and it all talks about honor, respect, loyalty, self-control, discipline. All these things are what's in a good martial art. Interestingly enough, these are also principles that are used in many faiths. So it's like, I want to basically say, listen, don't judge anyone just because they have a different religious belief. Now, if I get questions about religious stuff more on here, then I'm honestly, I'm not even going to answer you. Because I believe what I believe. It doesn't matter what my thoughts are on other things. It's my personal experiences that help me believe what I believe. And it's the things that I know and have experienced myself. And it's specific, and I'm not an idiot. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about something that changed me and changed my life and changed what my thoughts were. And I understand that people are going to have questions and people are going to probably find fault with this. I don't care. And most people when they're solid in their faith should not. You should not care. You believe what you believe because you should believe it. Okay? Now, but are you believing something that's going to be beneficial to mankind in some way? If not, then that's where I believe you are wrong. If you are not benefiting anyone, if you're not teaching anything worthwhile, if you're not helping someone through it, if you're not helping people persevere, push through, you're not doing anything helpful to someone, then you are basically the biggest problem. Okay, I heard this before, and I use it a lot because I think it has a lot of merit. If you complain about a problem, but you have no solutions, you're part of the problem. Because your complaining goes around to everybody's little ears, and everybody hears this. They start grumbling. They start blah, blah, blahing. Everything starts happening, and you're saying, yes, look how justified I am. And it's really, honestly, you're just a complainer. And you want to see more in the negative than you do in the positive. It takes a lot of work to see things in a positive light. And I'm noticing that in myself because I've always saw the negative side. I've seen the things that are the most, I am that kind of person that I saw everything as half full. And actually, I didn't even see the cup as half empty or half full. I thought of it as, oh, that glass is going to break. Doesn't matter if it's a half empty or half full, that glass is going to just break. That was what my problem was. But there's interesting things that are out there. I say don't judge people on what they believe personally. Judge them on what they're teaching their students. And this is what I'm talking about for the fitness aspects, when they talk to you about the martial arts aspects. What are they teaching their students? Are they setting an example of a poor human being? If that's the case, then there's a problem. I don't care what the person believes, as long as they're setting a good example. And now people say, well, how does that... Because eventually your kids have to find their own way anyway. It doesn't matter what you knew and what you know or what you believe. Eventually everyone has to find their own way. It's just how it works, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And you know what? They're going to go one way or another. That's when you do it, though. That's your personal thing. That's your personal preference. That's when you try to tell them about your side of things. That's it. So that's what my biggest thing is. What are you doing? Now, my biggest problem is I think it's a horrific and horrendous thing when people say they're doing self-defense. and they're not doing self-defense. They're doing the same garbage stuff that's out there that really wouldn't defend anyone, and it would just kill someone in a real situation. That's what I have a huge problem with. That's what I see with the value of, oh my goodness, that's crap. That's my problem. That's my pure belief. I don't, anything else, it really shouldn't matter. And you shouldn't be out there going, hey, this is what it is. But it was his personal Facebook account. If someone puts something else on their personal account, really? You're gonna have fault with them? You're gonna find fault with these people? It's their personal belief. It's their personal account. They should be free to say what they want. And I know that there was an argument on there saying you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. No, that's bumpkiss. It's his personal account. Of course he can do it. It's the way he believes. It has nothing to do with his professionalism, his ability to do the things that he can do, or the things that he's teaching. If he's out there spreading that out there, that's what he believes. But much like I tell other people, listen, you don't want me forcing my belief on you, don't force it on me. Don't force yours on me. And I'm not forcing anything on anyone. I'm just telling you purely what I believe and what, and how it was just a personal thing. It was a personal decision. The fact is, it has no effect on him. His things has not affected him. He's persevered above things. He has moved forward in things. He's doing things that are beneficial to mankind. He has overcome obstacles, and yet we're gonna find fault because of one silly little thing. I think, and my personal belief, of course, is if you believe nothing, you stand. If you believe in nothing, you'll fall for anything. So it's like, and I don't want that. And I believe that you need to have a good, solid standing on what you believe in. And if you believe one way or another, I don't care what you believe in. If you believe in it, believe in it. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Be stubborn about it. But at the same time, that's their personal belief. Leave it alone. I don't, people might fault me on this. I really don't care. Fault me if you want to. But he's done nothing wrong. He can say what he wants to say. If he doesn't believe it, he says, hey man, I just don't believe that. And if the person says, well, why don't you? And then he says one thing, and then they have a conversation about it, that's neither here nor there. If they ended up getting an argument about it, then that's something else. But I just know there's nothing to worry about arguing. You can talk about it. Just say why this and why that, and that's it. No need to argue about it. Just let it go. And if it starts feeling like it's heated, that's when you just kind of have to put your hands up and say, okay, whoa, didn't want to argue about it. I was just asking. And I just wanted to have a conversation with you and give you a chance to voice why I should see it your way. And I'm trying to voice mine to see it your way. That's it. Or see it my way. And that's it. But as a person, I know this guy. He seems like a really great guy. And he's done a lot of things that I commend him for. And I believe that this one little thing should never affect him like it did. And I think we should, everybody says they support him, but at the same time, I say, you didn't support him because you said, yeah, you shouldn't do it. Now, business-wise, no, he's not, if he's preaching what he's believing, and that goes for anybody. I don't care what faith you have. If you're preaching what you believe in, unless you're a preacher, that's not your job. If you are doing fit to fight, it is not your job to preach your belief. If you're doing a martial arts class, it is not your job to preach your belief. That is your job to teach them how to defend themselves. It is your job to help people get fit and healthy and happy and motivated. If you are a preacher, that's your job. If you're a priest, it's your job. Doesn't matter what kind of priest you are or whatever. It's your job. Okay? So, but that's the whole thing. But he didn't do anything unprofessional. He didn't do anything out there. He just put something out. So I think people need to cut him some slack. So that's my thing, okay? Practice, give good, solid, ethical things for someone, for your life to be better. Do something for the betterment of humanity. I don't care what your belief is. It's when you start going against humanity because you're just a sociopath or a psychopath with a black belt that you possibly shouldn't teach. You should probably just keep that stuff to yourself, because you're gonna do no one any good. So, and that's my personal thoughts on this. This is my personal thoughts on this matter. Okay. So, Joey, I'm behind you. I do have your back, and I don't believe you did anything absurdly out there wrong with your belief. And like I said, we contradict in our faith. So, but I don't believe you did anything wrong. Okay, that's just how it works. And I believe other people should not fault him for that. Okay? So, keep up the good work, and everybody will continue to talk about martial arts, what it has the effects that we have on one another, and we'll just continue to talk about it, but let's continue to talk about it truthfully. All right, late.